Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of CS Cart Vendor Custom Registration add-on. Now this magnificent add-on allows the admin of the site to customize their vendor registration form. The custom attributes or the fields created with this add-on will be visible on the vendor registration page at the storefront and the admin vendor information page as well. So all in all, what this particular add-on allows to do is that it allows you to add custom sections, and within those sections you can add custom registration fields for the vendor registration page as per your own requirement. Now kindly note that this add-on is well integrated with the CS Cart and CS Cart multi-vendor as well, and there's an option to add new fields for the vendor registration form from the admin backend panel. You'll be able to edit, delete, enable, disable the custom fields as required. You also have the option to add and delete custom sections created by the admin, and you can also set up the file upload feature within the custom fields there, using which the vendors would be able to upload a file from the store front end as well while they're trying to register themselves. So in today's video tutorial, I'll be taking you through the workflow of this particular add-on, that's the CS Cart Vendor Custom Registration add-on, and I'll be showing you the workflow at the store front end and the rest of the configuration settings at the backend panel of how to create the custom sections and how to add the custom registration field to the respective sections there for the vendor registration page from the configuration settings of the plugin itself. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. Now, as a user who wants to become a seller, for example, I want to become a seller, so I'll go to the become a seller in the top here. So in the header we have the become a seller option here, as you can see. So I'll just tap here on the become a seller option, and then I'll be choosing my one of the plans there, and after choosing a plan I'll be able to apply for a vendor account within the multi-vendor there itself. So this is the CS Cart multi-vendor vendor registration page, as you can see. So here you can see that we have particular sections here, and we have set up some custom registration fields as well, like we have set up the GST field here. Apart from that, you can see that we have the contact information section wherein we have some default values. If I want, I can add the custom registration fields to this particular section as well. Like we have the address, I can add to the address as well, or if I want, I can create a new custom section just like the contact information, address. I can have a different custom section here, and within that custom section I can also add custom registration fields for the vendor registration page from the admin backend panel. So you can add the custom registration fields to the already created sections that we have, like the contact information and the address, and you can also add more custom sections and add the required custom registration fields within them as per your own requirement there. So let me take you to the admin backend panel and let me show you how we'll be able to add the custom registration fields and how we can add the custom sections as well. So for that, let me take you to the admin backend panel and let's log into the admin backend panel. So after we have created a particular custom section and added the custom registration fields within that, I'll then come back to this particular section here to show you how it actually appears to the vendors at the storefront there. So for that, first let's log into the admin backend panel. So I'll be entering the email and the password and tapping on the sign in button thereafter. So after you have successfully installed this particular add-on, you'll find the add-on under the manage add-ons there with the name vendor custom registration fields. Let me show you that. If I search here for registration, here we have the vendor custom registration that allows users to create and customize vendor registration form, and from here you'll be able to uninstall this particular plugin from your store as well. Now coming to the section how we can create the custom sections and how we can add the different custom registration fields there with different input types. For that, what we need to do is we need to go to administration, and under administration we'll have the vendor custom registration fields. So let's tap on that. Now you can see that this brings up this vendor custom registration fields section, wherein you can see that we have one what we say as the section as company information. Here you can see that we had this custom registration field put into this particular custom section, and here we have the option to delete the same as well. Apart from that, we have the default ones that can be edited as per our requirement there. Then we have the contact info section, then we have the address section. Now the same is visible here. As you can see, we have the GST company, the plan, then we have the contact information section, then we have the address section. Now let's add a test section there, or what we say as a test custom section, and let's add some custom attributes, attribute fields to the same there. So what we need to do is to add custom registration fields, we have to tap here on the add new button at the top right hand corner, and that will bring up the new vendor custom registration field. So for example, if I want to create a field, I can create the field from this particular section, and I'll be able to add this particular custom registration field to any of the already created sections that we are having, like the company information, contact information, address information. If I want to add a different section here, I can tap here on the add delete custom section, and we can create a new section as well. So under this particular section, you'll find the complete list of custom sections that you have created. Right now there is none, so that's why it's showing none, no data. To add a new one, let's tap here on the add section, and let me enter, for example, test section, and let's tap here on the add button. So now you can see that we will be able to select and delete the ones as well, the sections that we have created. Now let's go back to the particular section there. Now here you can see that from the drop down, now we'll be having the test section as well. Now how to create a new vendor custom registration field? For that, we'll input the field name. For example, I'll create a field with the name fresh registration. That would be the name for the admin understanding. Now the field name, that is the name that would be visible to the vendors on the vendor registration form there. So are you a fresh registration? I'll mark it as a question mark thereafter. We can set the position of this particular custom registration field. Then we can choose the type as phone, zip code, checkbox, date, input field, radio group, select box, text area, email, and file as well. So for now, for example, I'll choose it as radio group, and thereafter we have the option here for the registration. The first checkbox is to show this particular field on the registration page under the company information section. So here we'll be selecting the test section that we had just created. So what this would do is that this would create a test section here, and this particular attribute would be added to that particular section. So this attribute could be added to the address section as well, or for the contact information as well, as per our own requirement there. Now I've given the name for the admin understanding, I've given the field name. This would be visible to the vendors on the vendor registration page. I've chosen the type as radio group. I've set the section as test section. With this particular custom registration field would be visible to the vendors, and here we'll be choosing for the registration. We'll show it on the registration page, and if I want to make it as a mandatory field, I can check this particular option as well. So for right now, we'll just not make it as mandatory, so we'll uncheck this option, and then we'll be tapping here on the create button. Now after tapping on the create, you can see that your changes have been saved successfully. Now here we have the options for the variants. So we had chosen it as the radio button, so I'll choose the options as yes and no, and I'll save it up again. So now you can see that we have created a test section. Apart from the company info, contact info, and the address section, we have a test section, and within the test section we have the RUF fresh registration, and we have the options to choose as yes or no. Now if I come back to this vendor registration page and I refresh the page there, and I scroll down here, you can see that now we have the test section visible to the vendors there, and here we have the label for the same, that's fresh registration, and here we have a yes and a no option for the same. Now here what you'll be able to do is you'll also be able to choose the type as file, and if it's a file type option, for example, if I save it up, let's see if the changes reflect there. For example, if I refresh this up and I come back, then here you can see that we have this text box field, right? So we have to create a new one for the same if we are going to choose it as a file type there. Now this was the workflow at the admin's end, how the admin would be able to create the sections there and how he'll be able to add the custom registration fields within a particular section there. Now let me show you how the vendors would be able to see this particular section under their own profile there. For that, what we'll do is we'll go to the vendor panel there and we'll be logging into the vendor account panel, and here we'll be going to vendors and vendors, and here we'll be going to the particular name of the store, and here you'll find the particular sections like you have the information, contact information section, and here under the Webkul vendor custom files you can find the particular field that we had created. First we had created it as a radio button for a yes and a no option. Then we had chosen it as if I show you, we had chosen it as a file type. So here we have a file type, and from here the vendors can choose a file from their desktops and can upload a file as well. So yes, that was much about the particular add-on, that's the CS card vendor custom registration add-on, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the workflow of the same. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions or requirements, then kindly do reach back to us at support@webkul.com, or you can raise a ticket at webkul.uvdesk.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.